Welcome to tonight's video on Unit 8, Part 5, talking about angles of elevation and depression. The angle of elevation is always measured from the ground up. Think of it like an elevator that only goes up. So basically the angle of elevation here, if you're looking up at an object, is this angle at the bottom of the triangle. In the diagram to the left, X marks the angle of elevation. To the top of the tree as seen from a point on the ground. You can think of the angle of elevation in relation to the movement of your eyes. You are looking straight ahead and you must raise or elevate your eyes to see the top of the tree. The angle of depression is always outside the triangle. It is never inside the triangle. In the diagram at the left, X marks the angle of depression of a boat at sea from the top of the lighthouse. So notice you're looking down at the object from the top of the lighthouse. You can think of the angle of the depression in relation to the movement of your eyes. You're standing at the top of the lighthouse and you're looking straight ahead. You must lower or depress your eyes to see the boat in the water. At the circus, a person in the audience at ground level watches the high wire routine. A 5'6" tall tall acrobat is standing on a platform that is 25 feet off the ground. How far is the audience member from the base of the platform? If the angle of elevation from the audience member's line of sight to the top of the acrobat is 27 degrees. So here's the wire, and the acrobat is right here. And then it's a platform that's 25 feet off the ground. And the angle of elevation, the elevation from the audience member's line of sight to the top of the acrobat. So here's the audience member. So their angle of elevation is 27 degrees. And it wants to know how far is the audience member from the base of the platform, so X. So when we look at this right triangle here, we have opposite is 25 and adjacent is what we're trying to find. So that means we're going to use tangent, 27 degrees equals opposite, which is 25 over X. So to solve this, we're going to multiply by X to get rid of the fraction. And then we're going to divide by tangent 27. So when you type that in your calculator, you get 49.1 feet. So that's how far away it is. All right, at a diving competition, a 6-foot tall diver stands atop the 32-foot platform. So we have a 32-foot tall platform, and the diver is at the top of it. Now, the front edge of the platform projects 5 feet inside. So it projects 5 feet inside the pool. The pool itself is 50 feet in length. So it's 5 feet in here. And then another 45 feet to the camera. So here's the camera right here. So a camera is set up at the opposite end of the pool, even with the pool's edge. If the camera is angled so that the line of sight extends to the top of the diver's head, what is the camera angle of elevation? So basically you're trying to find the angle of elevation there. So what you can do And remember, the diver's at the edge of the platform. So they're at the edge here. So what you can do is you can set up using, the tangent of x is equal to the opposite, which is 32, over the adjacent, which is 45. And then remember, to find the angle, you do the inverse. Type that in your calculator of 32 over 45. And you get the angle of elevation is 35 degrees, because it's about 35.4, but it says to the nearest degree, so it's 35 degrees. All right, number 57, Maria is at the top of a cliff and sees a seal in the water. If the cliff is 40 feet above the water and the angle of depression is 52 degrees, what is the horizontal distance from the seal to the cliff? So the cliff is 40 feet. The angle of depression, so if we're looking at the seal here, the angle of depression is 52 degrees. And it wants to know what's the horizontal distance to the seal, so x here. Now, the thing about these two lines here is that they're parallel, so the angle of depression and the angle of elevation are the same because of alternate interior angles. So therefore, the angle of depression is also 52. So when we set this up here, we have tangent 52 degrees equals 40 over x. Then we multiply by x to get rid of the fraction. Divide by tangent 52. And we get x equals 31.2 feet. Yeah. All right. Louisa is in a hot air balloon 30 feet above the ground. She sees the landing spot at the angle of elevation of, the angle of depression of 34 degrees. What is the horizontal distance between the hot air balloon and the landing spot? So Louisa is 30 feet above, and she sees the landing spot at the angle of depression, so 34 degrees. Here's her landing spot. What is the horizontal distance between the hot air balloon and the landing spot? Now the angle of elevation is also 34 degrees. So it's tangent 34 equals 30 over x. 30 over x. So then you multiply by x. Divide by tangent 34. So x is equal to 44.5 feet. Two dolphins. Is angle STR. The angle of depression is angle URT. It says find the angle of elevation of the sun when a 6-meter flagpole casts a 17-meter shadow. So you have a 6-meter flagpole right here, and its shadow is 17 meters. The sun is up here. So we want to find the angle of elevation. So we say tangent of x equals 6 over 17. So x is equal to tangent inverse 6 over 17, which is 19.4 degrees. All right, so after flying at an altitude of 575 meters, a helicopter starts to descend. So it's 575 meters and it's descending when its ground distance from the landing pad is 13.5 kilometers. And it says, what is the angle of depression for this part of the flight? Well, remember, angle of depression and angle of elevation are the same. So now the only thing we have to do is change kilometers to meters by multiplying by 1,000. So 13.5 kilometers is 13,500 meters. So tangent x is equal to 575 over 13,500. So x is equal to tangent inverse 575 over 13,500. So x is 2.4 degrees. And last but not least, the top of a signal tower is 250 feet above sea level. The angle of depression from the top of the tower to a passing ship, so the ship is out here, is 19 degrees. How far is the foot of the tower from the ship? So we go tangent 19 equals 250 over x. And then you multiply by x. And then divide by tangent 19. And when you type that in, you get x is approximately 726.1 feet. All right, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and that's the end of Unit 8.